Frederik of Denmark again has to deal with a dark episode, although this time he is not the main character. Neither when he was heir to the throne, nor now, when he has entered into his new role, Frederik of Denmark can be calm. Less than 2 weeks after his mother, Queen Margaret, abdicated the throne, he has to deal with a new scandal. One that has nothing to do with Genevieve Casanova or his marriage to Mary. It has to do with the innards of the Norse country's royal house, specifically with a serious charge that has tainted its members of the royal guard. We are referring to a 42-year-old senior sergeant who was taken to the district court, where he pleaded not guilty and where he only admits to being reckless. A case that made headlines beyond our borders and details the attitudes that led to this sergeant being thrust into the spotlight. He was reported to be very dismissive of one of his subordinates and to send her masturbation photographs. But when did the events take place? They estimate that from 2019 until 2 years later, this 21-year-old worker would have felt cornered. She herself spoke about this on the podium, wiping away tears and remembering the nightmare she had experienced these days, information that would certainly reach the ears of Frederik of Denmark. The woman who made the complaint explained that the staff sergeant kissed her on the lips, despite her refusal. That same day, he would follow her to the basement, where she changed clothes, not imagining what was about to happen to her. Suddenly he stayed there. He grabbed my hand, pushed me against the wall and kissed me again. This time, the kiss was more brutal and aggressive, she commented in a Copenhagen court. But it didn't end there, as the royal guard allegedly started sending her messages and compromising photos after getting his hands on her social media. He was very bossy, and it scared me a lot. But I felt it was better to be on his side, and so I also agreed for him to get my information from Snapchat social network, There was a lot of pressure on me, and there were a lot of messages from him. He didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't dare tell anyone about it. I was so ashamed that I couldn't talk or take care of myself, she added, overcome with fear. Although these crimes would not be isolated, but this royal guard would surpass other workers who had nothing to do with the young woman. Aggressiveness, because of which he was removed from office. I also saw him beating people. I was afraid that he would show up where I live, that he would hit me or grab me. He watched me so closely all the time that I was scared, the woman said in her statement. Although we will have to wait to find out the final verdict, which is scheduled for February 7th, no one doubts that Frederik of Denmark is once again engulfed in scandal. While this legal matter is settled, the new King of Denmark is focused on his own affairs. Also, with the appointment, which takes effect this Thursday, February 1st, his salary and the salary of his wife Mary of Denmark will change significantly. From now on, he is awarded an annual rather than a monthly amount, which, if possible, will force him to be much more forward-thinking.